What's going on, guys? Welcome to part 2 with SwanStorm's Spirit Tribal deck. This one has actually been really fun. I'm really enjoying this. SwanStorm, really do appreciate the submission. We had pretty good luck in the first video. If you didn't already watch it, please go do so. We got 2-1 as our record, which I can't be too unhappy about. I thought that was pretty nice. This hand is a little sketch, if I'm honest, but I'm going to try it. Knowing that we've got, so one thing that we talked about in the first video that I think hurts this deck a little bit, it does only have 20 lands, and 20 lands is not a lot, but I understand why. Again, we don't have like a ton of things in the deck that need just tons of lands, aside from maybe the Conjurant, but I think that suffers, and so I'm a little more hesitant to take a mulligan, knowing that, only because, you know, if I've got 2 lands in the opener hand, that's kind of good. I'm going to take it. Despite them not necessarily being the correct colors, like I'd like to have a white land here as well. I think we kind of have to just go for it. So let's go ahead. Let's just attack in here. And I think we just might leave up the Unsummon. I know this isn't a very exciting play, but yeah, here it actually makes quite a bit of sense. So let's go ahead and do that. Just makes it a little trickier for them to do too much. And again, it's a tempo play. We're kind of hoping to get as much tempo as possible in this early game. You know, I think we kind of have to, because we really need to hit lands. I do really like the Pilferer here, and that is a strong just card in general. The fact that you can do that is very nice, but we are, yeah, I assume they're just going to trade off here. I think what's nice about this deck is you can kind of invest a good bit into one particular creature, and then if it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. We see that with Spectral Sailor as well as the Pilferer, so in this situation I think it was definitely correct of us to draw there, but we still didn't hit lands. And unfortunately that's a big hit, so we'll do it again. We do really need some lands here, so I'm willing to put some out. I'm gonna actually play this for one. I know this seems silly, but we're gonna discard cards here soon anyway. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drop this down. Now next turn we probably will not draw with the Pilferer here, despite what they do. I think it's gonna be correct for us to hold back. I will attack in though. The reason being we'll have Empyrean Eagle, or we'll be able to leave up, you know, Essence Scatter. Maybe we'll play Tome Anima. We've got some options here, so there is a nice little interaction between the Anima as well as the Pilferer that I really like. It just means that, you know, it's unblockable, which is great. But it's definitely going to be a bit tricky. Wow, sure. Well done, opponent. Just have tons of stuff. It's just mono blue flash, though. I mean, they're going to have counter spells. They're going to have a lot. And eventually we're just going to get devalued here, is my assumption. Chances are this dies, but we're going to take the chance. They can just play a blue spell. Any blue spell. Yeah, there we go. And that's fine. I mean, kind of expected it, so that's cool. It is very good though. Yep, we're gonna decline this time. Second white source is good. Let's just play the Tome Anima. Chances are this isn't gonna really go well for us. I think we've pretty much already lost, but you know, and we'll pass here. We'll see what they do. They can pump things up maybe one more time depending on what they've got in their hand, but yeah, wow, okay. Yep. So chances are, in fact, we definitely just lose. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and concede out here. Unfortunately, just overpowered us. We didn't have the land, and I think that's the biggest issue with this deck, is that unfortunately there's not a ton of land. But that's okay. Ooh, well, let's go open a pack and do our little mastery tree really quick, and then we'll jump into game 2 and 3. I love the mastery tree. It's just kind of fun. That's very helpful. Considering all these JDC decks that we make, it's helpful to have a few extra wild cards of every kind here, because you never know what you're gonna get there. Yeah. Get the Harbinger. What's the last one? Oh yeah, Garrett. Duh. Alright. Let's go ahead and jump into game 2 and see what we can do. I like the idea and the theme behind this deck. SwanStorm, this is a really interesting idea with the Spirit Tribal. I just don't think this list is quite there. Yeah, we'll try it. Got a couple chances to draw some lands here. If we're against a creature deck, oh goodness, hold on. We're conceding out. The frame rates are so bad. We were down to 10. Yeah, I've tried to avoid just like ditching out for that kind of thing, but sometimes you just can't help it. I think 10 frames per second is enough to say, yeah, it's probably good to jump out of that one. Let's see what we do this time. Nice username. Yeah, we'll keep this. This is an interesting hand. We'll try it. Frame rates aren't great in this one either, but we're gonna stick it out. We're at 22 at least, so a little better than 10. All right. Let's do this. You know, I'm just gonna pass. Worst case scenario, we lose out on a mana, which is not the worst thing in the world, and we get this down. So I'm perfectly fine with that. They may have a removal spell here. Sure. Maybe mono black control is what we're looking at, and that's perfectly fine. What do we do? I'm gonna do this. Let's give him stuff to kill. We could have also played out the Conjurant here, but I think we need to save that. Chances are they're gonna kill this at some point. I don't see why they wouldn't. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Alright, well, let's attack in. We'll play the Pilferer here. And we'll pass. I do understand the importance of Dovin's Veto here, so there is a world where we should have left that up, but doesn't look like this is that world. We've got, kind of got what we need here, at least to start with. Solemn is very, very good. Just as a value card. Yeah. We'll attack here. And we'll pass. Here we'll leave up Dovin's Veto or Essence Scatter along with a Spectral Sailor. Would love to get a land, so that way next turn we can leave up Essence Scatter and Dovin's Veto. Let's just go ahead and counter this. It's not really the worst thing in the world, but let's just get it out of the way here. And we'll take 2. I'm not going to block that. We can go ahead and flash out the Sailor. Alright. That's helpful. We are taking some damage here, so we do have to be a bit careful there, but we're attacking in with everything. We're racing at this point, and I do think we're going to lead this race long term, so this just definitely doesn't help. I think we have to Dovin's Veto that. That's just a little too good. Grim Tutor is a scary, scary card. I just want to point that out. You never know what they're going to get, and that's difficult. They may have another one. Yeah. Sure. You got it. We also do not see the card, worth noting, so we don't know what they're getting. But at least now they don't have the mana to do anything with it. Okay. I'm going to auto-pay here. Let's draw a card. I understand that that's going to deal us a couple extra points here. But we are in a situation where we kind of just need to go ham. I'm sure they trade this. They have extra value to do this, but let's get some stuff off the field here. And I think I have to leave up Essence Scatter. Chances are we just lose. They can peer through the... I assume this is an Abyss deck, so they're just going to hit us with it, and then we lose thanks to Underworld Dreams. Okay. Interesting. Well, see what they do. Chances are they're killing something here. Sure. My assumption is they're just going to kill us next turn, though. They Grim Tutored. I don't know why they wouldn't just Abyss. Wow. Sure. Use them up. I wish we could do like more than just one or two things here. Let's do this. On the off chance Essence Scatter is important, we're going to leave it up. Kind of doubt it, but they may go for something here. I guess they're worried about a counter, so maybe they're just not going for the combo here. But yeah, here we just lose. That's the combo. Very good combo, in fact. I'm just going to give it Resolve All. They get the satisfaction. You should always give it to them, right? Yep, they got it. Very, very cool deck. I've not seen that combo with Underworld Dreams yet. I've seen it in a couple different fashions. I've played it in a couple different fashions, but not seen that one yet. Unfortunately, we just weren't quite quick enough. I don't think that was a misplay of the deck by any means. They just had a control-y deck that won off of a combo. So I think they just outplayed. You know, sure. These thankfully help us draw cards theoretically, so like we're gonna try it. Our frame rates are not great here, so hopefully they get better once we get into the game against Dawkins. I know you can't see that, but interesting. I did mention it in the first video, but I just want to point out the JDC episode that I know is supposed to go up today is probably going to be going up tomorrow. We unfortunately just had some tech issues. We actually sat down to record last night, and the guest, who I will not mention, we'll talk about that in the JDC episode, but the guest unfortunately was struggling to get it working, and so we had some issues, and we had to reinstall some things, and it caused some issues, so pushed it a little bit too late for us, but that's okay. We'll jump in. This opponent is playing very slowly, which is slightly frustrating, but that's okay. Well, here we go. If that's the case, I'm doing this. I'll trade. I will trade all day. Our frame rates aren't great. I apologize. We're sticking through it. If they shock this, that's fine. They wasted a shock on a 1/1. Devalues their burn spells and gives us a trade option, so I'm in for it. Yep. Perfectly fine. Take your turn to do that. Also fine. Not great, but fine. Yep. We're just going to keep playing them. They give us blockers. I think it's worth it. If they shock again, that's kind of fine. Chances are they will. If they've got the burn spell, they're going to do it, yeah. But now they can't do anything else this turn. So next turn we've got another one. Or we just Essence Scatter. Alright, look. Hear me out. I'm going to do this for 1. They're going to wonder very heavily why we didn't play it for 3. And it's going to be very clear to them that we have a counter spell. So this is probably incorrect, but we're going to try it. Countering it, 100%, counter it all. Alright. Trade, easy trade. We can't trade with this, has first strike, just heads up. Let's get that down. Let's get Eidolon down. Alright. And let's see what happens. If they just shock this again, yeah. Sure. Chances are we're going to lose this, but that's fine. Let's get Dungeon Geists. That's great. We're just playing stuff out, man. Whatever we can play out, we're playing it out. Dungeon Geist is good, but it's not going to be good enough against these Bone Crusher Giants. So we do have an issue there. Let's get you out. Yeah, let's attack for 3. Why not? And I'm going to pass. I can flash in the Spectral Sailor and double block if we need to. Which we're probably going to need to. We get to draw a card here. That's nice. Hey, and we can make the same play twice. That's actually kind of nice. Yeah, I'm 100% going to double block. Whoops. I hate how that switches. That's so annoying. It just gives us a way to kill it. We have to. We really, really have to. Now this is a way to deal with it without actually having to deal with it, which is kind of interesting. So we can use this ability next turn and actually just tap down the Bone Crusher Giant, and then we don't have to kill it. We'll wait until they go to combat and then potentially just tap this down. We'll resolve that. That's fine. Ooh. Yeah. We're going to tap this down. This isn't great because, you know, obviously we're going to be taking some hits here. But it's fine. Or tap down. You can just attack. It's fine. Yeah. Do we pay to? I'm going to say yes. Empyrean Eagle. Essence Scatter. Okay, well, we don't do anything, I think. I think we'll leave up Essence Scatter. In case they've got another haster, we're going to need to... I mean, we just kind of have to do something about it. Chances are we're just dead here, though. I don't think there's much of a way to get out of this. Oops, no. You, here. You, here. Yeah. Can only block creatures with flying, that's an important thing. Yep. So we just lose though, right? Yep. Alright, well, okay, here's the deal. First of all, SwanStorm, again, I really want to point out that we appreciate the submission. It means a lot that you guys take the time to build these decks for us, and it's very, very fun to play your user-submitted decks. I think it's always a really good time to see what you guys can come up with. So thank you very much for doing so. I really appreciate it. My suggestion with this list is to take another peek at it and see where you can make it a little bit more consistent and a little bit more maybe even efficient. I don't know that efficiency might not be the right word, but consistency definitely. I think it needs to maybe have a few more lands in it. Maybe not focus so much on let's see, the Conjurants in particular. I think there are some better options here. I also don't know about the Tome Anima and the Eidolon here. Not that they're bad cards, I think they kind of work for the deck, but like this, and this in particular seems like they could be upgraded. I would think 4 Dungeon Geists would be a lot better than 2. 4 Dungeon Geists would be kind of crazy good against a lot of the creature decks. And what I mean by that is you look at the deck, okay, so if you're in a top deck position, and you're mid-game, mid to late game, which is really crucial for this deck, I think the point would be, you know, you draw a Tome Anima, yeah, it's fine, it's a 3/3 for 4 though, like that's pretty bad, and it's supposed to be an aggressive card, but it's coming in on turn 4, and so that's not very aggressive or competitive in the ladder. Instead, you draw a Dungeon Geist, and you can tap down an opponent's creature and get a 3/3 that now can block or do whatever you need it to do. So this does a lot more off the top of your deck than this does or this does. The Conjurant scales, so there's a lot of positive notes about that, I think, with a deck like this, but it doesn't really... That's it. I mean, it's just a scalable threat, and so I think there are a lot of times where you don't even worry about a card like this. I wouldn't play this in the deck, I don't think. I think I would tend to be more like, let's double up on some cheap stuff instead of just playing the Conjurant. depending on the situation, there are always going to be corner cases, but that tends to be my thought. The rest of the deck I don't think is bad. Like, I like having Dovin's Veto and Essence Scatter. A lot of times one or the other are going to be played a lot heavier, but like we mentioned in the first video, discarding them to Ghostly Pilferer is a great option. So like, they become fodder. So I'm with that. Shacklegeist, great include. I really like Shacklegeist. We finally did get to see it kind of tap down a few things and help us there. Spectral Sailor, amazing. Empyrean Eagle, one that I didn't really think of, but very good. It doesn't hit everything. It really hits the Spectral Sailor, the Shacklegeist, as well as the Dungeon Geists. I think we could do better there. I think there could be some more efficiencies there to give that a little more synergy and have it hit a little bit harder. I think, again, off the top of your deck, if you give a Spectral Sailor +1/+1 and maybe a Shacklegeist +1/+1, that's fine, but I think we could push that a bit further and not have these, just ground creatures in here. And so that's just my take on it. And again, I haven't looked into building my own version of this deck, so don't take that to heart, but that's just my thing. I also think, again, the mana base needs a lot of work. Definitely 4 Hallowed Fountains. I don't know 100% why only 3. That was just, what was there. Maybe even some Fabled Passages. You can swap some of these out. Now, I know that we kind of need to hit the lands on the turn, so I'm with you on that. Maybe that's not a good call, but I would try it at least. Just for deck thinning purposes, I think it's pretty nice to have maybe 1 or 2. Overall, though, I really like the idea of a Spirits deck. I'd like to revisit this one, so SwanStorm, if you want to take this deck back, take another peek at it. Just try it again. Send us a new deck list. We'd love to try it. Maybe output one together as well, and we can kind of compare in the Discord. I know we've got a lot of people in there who are willing to help as well. So thank you again. I really do appreciate the suggestion. And SwanStorm, I see you in the Discord all the time. I really appreciate you hanging out with us in there. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do have a deck suggestion, please make sure to leave it in our Discord. We've got a channel for it, and that's definitely going to be the best place to do it. But thank you guys so much. I will see you very soon with some more gameplay videos.